right, so learning goal, the student will understand how to find the volume of the prism. Do you know what volume means? What? The inside, good. So it's like if I was going to take a shape and fill it up with water, fill it up with sand, or fill it up with packing peanuts. Okay, all of that would be volume of a three-dimensional thing. How much goes inside? Okay, volume is actually pretty simple. Okay, what you want to think about is that you are putting in little bitty cubes. Like everything we've been talking about, even with area, was squares, right? So I would say, how many squares fit inside of this? Okay, well now I'm saying, how many three-dimensional cubes can I stack inside of there? Okay, and so if you look at this first one, do you see how they've taken those three-dimensional cubes and laid them across the bottom? So what I do is I find the area. What would be the area of this base layer right here? Take it? 15? You sure? Wait, what else? 20, right? What'd you do? 5 times 4, because there's a side of 5 and a side of 4. So that's exactly kind of what we've been doing, exactly kind of area, right? So the base area, this base area right here, is 5 times 4, which is 20. Then what do I multiply that by? The height. And can you understand that this means there would be basically a set of them there? How many more sets would there be? There'd be 3 total sets, right? So it'd be like 3 layers of 20. So 3 layers of 20 would be how much? 60. Make sense? And that's it. You find the base layer and you multiply it by how many layers there would be. That is volume. Yes?
On the pictures, are they going to give us this visual, like are they going to have it laid out?
Good question. So on the test, they're going to look like these. Okay? So you're going to have to find the base area yourself and then figure out how many rows. Okay? All right, so let's look at this first rectangular prism. So the first thing we always want to start with is our base area. So we're going to find base area first, and then we're going to multiply that by its height. Okay, so here is the base. What is the base area there? A 9 by 2. So 9 by 2 would give me a base area of 18. How many layers of 18 am I going to have? 3, because it's going up 3 tall right here. So I would put in 3 layers of that. So I would say base area 18 times the height, which is 3. And all I have to do is 18 times 3, which gives me 54. Does anybody know how my units change now? What am I filling it with? Cubes. So this is called cubic feet. And you put a 3. Yeah, that's literally what it means. We took number times number times number. That's a cube. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one. What would be the base area of the next one? A 3 by 3. Good. And so 3 by 3 is 9. Good. So the base area is 9. How many rows of 9 will I have? 3. So I'm going to take 9 times 3, which gives me 27. And again, my units are cubic feet. Okay? I'd like you to try the next one on your own on your screen, and let's see if you're getting it.
We're taking the bottom layer, and then we're like
a 6 by 1. Good. So those are the dimensions. So this is a 6 by 1. 6 times 1 is 6. How many layers of 6 do we have? We have 9 layers of 6, so we would take 6 times 9 and get 54 cubic feet. Okay? Makes sense? All right, let's try to do a triangular prism then. Yes. Okay, formula doesn't change. It is still base area times height. It's just the base area this time is a triangle versus a rectangle. We know how to find the area of a triangle, correct?
No.
Liar.
base times height, and then you divide it by half.
Yeah, we'll divide it by 2. You can say multiply by a half or divide by 2. Okay, so we look for the 90-degree angle. So look for the 90-degree angle. The 2 sides that touch that are its base and height. Okay, so here is a height, and here is a base. So our base area here, we're going to do 12 times 5 and then cut that in half. So 12 times 5 is 60, and then we're going to divide that by 2, which gives me a base area of 30. Okay? How many layers of 30 would I have? 17. So I'm going to take 30 times now the height. So multiply this by your height. So now we have 30 times 17, and that's going to be a fairly big number. 510. Good. And this does not give me units, does it? So we're just going to put cubic units. Okay? If some of you guys are wondering where would you hear this lingo, I always see people in my neighborhood, they'll have mulch delivered by the truck. So like, you know, like mulch put around your trees and landscaping. And you can buy it by the bag. And on the bag it will say how many cubic feet. Usually when you buy it like at Home Depot or Lowe's, it'll say like 4 cubic feet. It means 4 cubed, that's how much is in there. Or if you buy it by the truckload, they'll say there's 200 cubic feet in a truckload. That's how they'll sell it to you. So that's where you would see like this kind of units. All right, what happens when it's turned on its side? Okay, so this right here, you cannot do the base that it's sitting on. You see how that one says, like, you would say, oh, the base is a 4 by 11.6. It has to have, the bases have to match. That's probably the easiest way to think about it. So when you're working with rectangular prism, do you always have sets that match? A rectangular prism, like a box. Yes, so you can turn those any way you want. But a triangular one, if the bases have to match, what's the only way you can do it? On the triangles like this. So now you have to visualize what the real base is. The real base is a triangle, and you have to find your triangle. Okay, so bases have to be the same. Okay, so there it is right there. That would be our base. So we're going to find the area of our triangle. Okay, so our base area is going to be 3.5 times 4. And we're going to cut that in half. So I'm getting 14, and then divide that by 2. So the base area is 7. Okay, how many layers of 7 would we have? 11.6 layers. So we're going to take 7 times our height, which our height is 11.6. So 7 times 11.6 is 81.2. So 81.2 cubic meters. Does that make sense? That's the only thing that's tricky about these triangular prisms is the base is the triangle. Isabel.
It says the nearest cubic.
Oh, I should have read the directions. Nearest cubic meter. So we need to round that to 81 meters cubed. Thank you for catching that for me. Zeke. How did I get 14? 3.5 times 4. Anything else? All right, so we're going to move into some practice. That's the only part of the lesson today.